Hello, welcome back to Golden Self Plays Great Britain and Hearts of Iron 4, where we have just finished going through and making our theaters. I ended up merging Africa into West Africa. I ended up, instead of making separate theaters, because it was getting kind of ridiculous, I labeled the armies instead, put them within the theaters. So here's the East African Force, the West African Force, we've got the Ceylon Force, we've got the Malaya Force, we've got the Hong Kong Force. I wish there was an equivalent thing to this for the navies, but there is not. Instead, if I want to know where my navies are, I have to go to this screen, and boy is it a mess. And if I really want to know all my ships, I can go to this here. And this will tell me my lost ships. If I go to this here, it'll tell me my battle cruisers, you know, how many I have. But it doesn't, right-clicking them or clicking on them doesn't do anything. If I need to find them, I've got to right-click on the fleet that seems most likely to have them. And if you hover over them, you can see what's in each fleet. This can be a nightmare, though, if it looks like this. And if you are not particularly sure what the HMS Acasta is, you got to look over to the destroyers to see that it says destroyer right there. But if you right-click it, it'll take you to them. And of course, it says that it's in southern England, southern China. Right-clicking takes you to a bunch of things, actually. If you right-click on these, it will take you there as well. So that's kind of cool. But you know, different clicks do different things in different places. So I can't think of a good example right now, but for example, when you're controlling units, right-clicking tells them where to go, but also control shift right-clicking does lots of different commands and stuff depending on what you do with your clicks. So keep in mind that right-clicking is not the answer to everything. We've gained manpower if that's possible. I haven't been recruiting units, that would be why. And I feel much more confident having put everything into theaters. Now, we still need support equipment, we still need infantry equipment. This will take us 268 days, this would take us 573 days. I don't want to wait 2 years to make infantry equipment. So we need to get these factories built. And I'm thinking that we also need to build some military factories and sort of intersperse them with the civilian ones. So, let's do that right now. I'm not worried about going up to my limit because we're going to get more slots for factories and buildings later. This is sort of some English woman trying to sound like Edith Piaf. So whatever, we'll do that. Now we'll take you to the top. Now the thing, and I'm holding down shift to do that. Now the thing is, you gotta kind of sort these like this. I really wish this was drag and drop. For some reason it has this weird, you know, stack queue system that I just don't get why they would do it like this, but they did. You know, there are cases where you really want to bring your repair to the top priority, but there are other cases where it's like this, and you just want to do a bunch of things at once, and it's a huge pain in the butt. Let's go ahead and use our factories to do this. I thought that we would have to get more resources from trading, but we actually have quite a few factories working for us already, so we'll go ahead and intersperse the civilian ones with the military ones, and just build a bunch of military ones to kind of start us off so that we can build more planes and more equipment, especially equipment right now, but also planes. We really got to get those built up, and it's even tempting to do less civilian factories than this even, and let's just do like that, and it's just down the chain, this weird chain that has been made, and we are nearly done reinforcing the empire, sort of, and then as a national focus. You know, I like this idea that this concept of a national focus, because it's not saying you're reinforcing the empire right now, it's giving you the ability to reinforce it. So, you know, it will increase our national unity because the nation is going to say, you know, we need to reinforce the empire, and we need to have more service overseas. So by giving us army and navy experience and air experience, we can, you know, improve our overseas service somehow. I don't see that connection there particularly, but there are better ones as well. Home defense. This one does give you free stuff, though, but perhaps not as much as you would want if you really wanted to stave off an invasion. What have you picked? You're doing Rhineland. Okay, so that's according to plan. Capital ship focus. Wow, they're going all Navy. Warsaw Main Railway Station. What does that do? Warsaw Main Railway Station. Probably under the 4-year plan? Yeah. Adds building slots, adds infrastructure. So they're trying to build themselves up. Actually, this would be a good move if they were trying to remilitarize, and then they would have to probably go for these. Let's see what they do. You know, I wonder with Ahistorical AI if they instead pick a different sort of focus of what they're going to do. You're going to go all colonial on us, it seems. Giving democracy support all throughout South America. And from there you could do Pax Americana. Oh, it requires all of them, actually. So you got to get your U.S. sphere of influence up. Then Pax Americana causes ideology drift defense for the countries under U.S. protection, which is quite a few apparently. And United States can intervene in wars between American countries, so that's interesting. As the Monroe Doctrine in some ways sort of implies. It's more about keeping other countries out, keeping Europeans out, and other powers. I maybe should have let West Midlands finish this one factory first, but whatever. Yorkshire. But look at how quickly they're moving through this. Now there are bonuses to factory construction that we can get, that we're going to need to get through national focuses as foci as well. It feels somehow sillier when I say foci aloud than when I say it in my head to myself. I'm one of these people who thinks very much in words and not in pictures or anything, or numbers for that matter. Alright, so we're just waiting, unfortunately. That's a big part of this game. So let's go. Whoa! Remilitarization of the Rhineland. Several German divisions recently advanced into the Rhineland, marking the first time since the end of the Great War. Germany has forces positioned west of the Rhine. The Rhine. It's a Rhine with kind of a bit of throatiness. This is a clear violation of the Versailles Treaty, under which Germany is forbidden from militarizing the region. The French seem content to limit their response to this breach to diplomatic objections, and public opinion in Britain is firmly against the war. So all we can do is issue an objection as well. So German Reich, our opinion of German Reich goes down. Here's another pop about it in case you didn't get anything like, in case you weren't in the power that has something to say about it. And in this case, we're being told that it is no more than the Germans walking into their own backyard. Nothing to get worked up about, surely. Alright. So, we've finished with support weapons, but we can't yet. We're ahead of time on these, which means we're going to suffer penalties for taking it, as you probably know. We could research paratroopers or something, but let's see. Armor. We could go for the Matilda, and we probably should, but I think we need to focus on ships and planes, as we were saying earlier. So maybe we should do an air doctrine, or a navy doctrine, perhaps? What doctrine are we taking right now? Are we working on one of those? You're not. Okay, well, these air doctrines and stuff, they give us bonuses for our planes when they're in combat. As Great Britain, I imagine that we'll be doing strategic destruction more than anything else, since our army isn't strong enough for battlefield support. Operational integrity is also a good one, but you know, I think as Britain we should probably go with this one. We can also look at our naval doctrines. We start off with fleet and being the first one research. We can switch. It will undo this research, but we can switch and re-research something else. Trade interdiction or a base strike, for example. But being Great Britain, we're going to want to do fleet and being. And we can do sort of focusing on fighting submarines here. Convoy escorts, convoy sailing, escort carriers, and so on. Or we could focus on doing, if you do this as sort of a dead end of just submarine stuff. But if you go this way, you also get to some carrier bonuses and some shared carrier and battleship and battlecruiser bonuses as well. But for me, I think I want to focus more on destroyers and killing submarines. On the other hand, this works too. I mean, either way, if you just have enough ships, you can beat submarines. And here's some bonuses for destroyers. You know what? I think I'm going to go this way. This is more the battleship way of doing things. So we'll do that as Great Britain. And I believe we're mutually excluded from doing the others now. But I will find out later. And with our other research slot, I think I'll alternate for Army and for Navy and Air doctrines. So let's go into our industry stuff. Oh my gosh, we need to get these right away. In fact, we're already doing construction. Let's do now. Since we can expect to probably be bombed, we could go ahead and do dispersed industry, and this would increase our vulnerability, it would lower our vulnerability to being bombed our factories, but it's not quite as good a buff to factory output as this route. Either way, you get max factories in state plus 20%, so that's fine. Like, they're both going to work out just fine. But we're going to have air superiority, so I'm not too worried about that. We'll do concentrated industry. If we can hold on to that air superiority, which is going to be a question of resources. I'm surprised how few we can actually get from our colonies, to be honest, especially from our former colonies like Canada and Australia. You would think that they would be more willing to give me stuff for free, but I guess not. Allies. But at least they're any allies, so they'll join the war. Now we can go ahead and change these. So let's change to limited conscription. This will give us recruitable population 2.5%. These other ones we can't do, not only because we don't have enough points, but because we have to either be communist or fascist or at war, and there has to be, the enemy army strength has to be 50% of ours, for that one, or 40% for one of the other ones. I forget, where is it? I don't know where it is, but it was one of these. 60%. I guess it wasn't 40%, it was 60%. Alright. We'll go ahead and do limited conscription. Now we have a bit more, not much more, to pull from for our manpower. And here was an overview of our factories. I never even noticed this before. Military factories in use 14, naval dockyards in use 19, civilian factories in use 43. They're using far more civilian factories than military ones, and it might be a good idea, in fact, instead of building military factories, to convert some of our civilian ones to military. We're already doing this though, but we can go ahead and cancel a lot of it. Like so. Like so. Like so. And I'm going to cancel these as well. Probably more off camera. Oh wait, that's almost done. I just threw away a bunch of progress on stuff. Crap. Let's cancel these. And we'll leave these for like later. Like we'll get to them or something. But let's instead convert some of our civilian factories over to military. Like that one. And those two. And it's going to take a while for this to happen. We have to actually move these up onto the top of the queue. Some of them are even not in Britain proper. They're down here. Rhodesia. So, let's go ahead down to the bottom of this. Now this will be quicker than converting stuff. And there's actually going to be bonuses for that later as well. I figured this is probably a good move to start off, sort of. Let's go down a bit on some of these. Let's let this finish. And then, and this too. And then these will come in. And I do still want some civilian factories being built. So let's do that as well. Another thing we can do is build factories in our colonies, but I'm concerned that they'll just be invaded and I'll miss it. No divisions in basic training. Wow, it's telling me to make infantry right now. I guess because I finally have the manpower for it. So, shall we build a motorized unit? Oh, we haven't actually researched that yet. Shall we build tanks? They're not going to be useful for anything because they're going to be weak tanks. It's a weak tank brigade. We don't have the experience to change it up. Cavalry brigade, totally out of date. So it's just going to have to be infantry. They're the most up-to-date thing I have. And we'll go ahead and recruit 5 of them for the London area. Right, let's send them to this port in case we want them to go abroad. Yep, perfect. And go. Now we should start. Now, as you can see, this is going to hurt, but I still want to prioritize reinforcement actually, so we can get them all reinforced and upgrades before this. Before that we do that, I want to go ahead and fill up my my other equipment needs. People who already have equipment, because let's face it, our army isn't going to be fighting this war. Whatever war is going to be. You're doing West Wall now, okay. Improved screen ships. Boy, they're going Navy heavy. Central region strategy. 50% bonus for industry. So they're going heavy industrial. So that's interesting. Poland. Soviets. The Great Purge, just like Stalin. And Imperial austerity. Well, they did decide to go down here then. Eventually. We'll see what happens. I have a feeling they're still going to go, you know, fairly historical. The neighbors. Canada and Mexico then. Gaining US influence. So that's cool. We'll get some ideology drift defense in Canada and democracy support in Mexico. So as you can see, they start off unaligned. So this is great. If they do this, we might be able to even bring Mexico into the Allies or something, you know? Oh, look at this guy. No comment, man. Free military factories, alright. So, because we just built some, yeah. Let's take a look, this guy built. So let's go ahead and up that to there. And let's just push this down to the bottom. Alright. So we can now build more infantry equipment. Or should we do support equipment? No, it's getting filled. Let's check out how long until support equipment's done. 370 days. Well, that is a long time. But this is even longer, so... They're for the same unit, so we might as well, because the way the units work is, let me find my units. The way the unit works is it has support equipment here. So that's one of the first things we researched was that. So that all has to get upgraded. As this gets built, we're gonna get faster construction. We just finished building another thing. Let's do that. Now how long? 382 days. Okay. We're starting to catch up with support equipment. Hurricane has been researched. That's excellent. Construction 1 has been researched. So, we have the Hurricane. We're ahead of time on a Spitfire. But how about the carrier version of the Hurricane? Or how about the tactical bomber of the Wellington or the strategic bomber of the Halifax? Let's do the Halifax. Experience from the Great War and studies since show that bombing the enemy's military targets in major cities will win the war. At the very least, we must have a bomber capable of delivering such destruction. Well, it's sort of debatable whether that will win the war, but let's also get heavy fighters. Good. We're going to want close air support because eventually, or maybe just tactical bombers, because we want to support units on the ground fighting the Germans, even if they're not our units. But it's not like we're not going to use any of our units to fight them. We could try to make a showing in Danzig, assuming that they go for it. And but it'll be in some time. You guys aren't getting built at all anyway, so we've got quite a few reinforcements to make here, which is being shown here. Delivering to East Africa. Very cool. Giving it the high priority. And here's of course the new upgrades of infantry equipment coming in. But delivering. We will eventually deliver it all. And we are going to continue getting factories built as well. Now that we just got the first construction bonus. Actually, wait a minute. We don't have a national focus button. Why is that? We need this one. Did I not pick this one? Okay, well, we used some of our apparently we got some progress from some of the power that we had saved up, I guess. Maybe I accidentally canceled it. Oh, man, I'm researching 2 kinds of planes at once. I should have gone for, like, industry. If I change it, I'll lose the progress. I did just start them, though. Oh, whatever, I'll let them go. I'd rather have right now, go up the speed. I'd rather have, whatchamacallit, construction. the next level of construction. But that's 37, so I guess not. Go for this. Oh, there goes my timer. That's gonna have to do it for this episode, I'm afraid. Nothing much has happened. We've just continued building up. Try to get all of our units reinforced. We have the Olympiad. This is of no real interest to us. This is the same. I've seen it as every time has been the same text. So the Germans saw the most success. Americans came in second. And there's Jesse Owens was the single most successful athlete of the games. And also it was the first to enjoy live television coverage. Somewhat hard to believe considering that, I mean, I think of television as being invented in like 47 or mass-produced in 47. But, okay, I guess that must be true because they say so. And that looks like Japan. Alright, well, great. Great, wonderful. I guess I'm going to have to end the episode here. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed, please feel free to comment and tell me how I'm doing so far. If you think I'm doing terribly, I'd like some backseating. I'm probably going to try to play my next play session on Twitch. So, look forward to that. Let's say that'll be on... probably on Monday? That's in quite a while, isn't it? Let's see, today's Tuesday, so then it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday for these episodes I've just recorded. Saturday, it'll probably be on Saturday then. Let's do it on Saturday at, like probably in the evening, like Saturday at 5 o'clock or so, Pacific time. I'll be streaming on Twitch, playing this exact game, this exact save, continuing and trying to record for YouTube at the same time, a la Shenrir does the same thing. You can either say Shenrir does the same thing or a la Shenrir. You can't have it both ways, which I just tried to do. But that's what I'm going to do. And I saw that his system was chugging a bit doing that, and he was using DxTory as well, and OBS, but which is what I'm going to do, but we'll see if I can make it work. Another option is to use OBS as the recording software and then just record audio separate with like Audacity or something. More of a hassle, but it can be done. Alright, thanks for watching though. Bye bye.